So it's very important for me to make coverage on important issues that are happening locally and internationally. In this world, everybody is taught how to row your boat down the stream, going with the flow of relativity, and when you are dealing with issues, it's just a relative perspective, not a perspective that is actually beneficial. But we have to row the boat up the stream. We have to give perspectives that are deeper, perspectives that actually solve the problem. So I would have done just one in the past, one coverage, and that is I can't recall at the moment, with the shooting, the mass shooting in America, and I will continue with one that is local, and of course, anything these issues they relate to unfortunate deaths, and that is always one too many when somebody dies. So let me go straight into it. I'll be reading from my cell phone, and then I will be giving a little my comments and perceptions, so that we can have a deeper understanding of why things happen, so we can avoid it. So Pixels Guyana would have done a little comment uh, to describe an incident, an accident that would have occurred, and it says, today at Grove Village, an East Bank family of Cambio worker Vishnarayan says goodbye to him. Hundreds of persons turned up to pay respects. He died a few days ago from injuries he received after his vehicles flipped after crashing into a dead cow on the Mocha to Diamond Access Road. There were widespread condemnation over the disregard of cattle owners for housing schemes. Today, this was a scene along the same road, and nothing has changed. So Pixels Guyana would have expressed their frustration, and it's the duty of leaders. It's the duty of especially young leaders to give a deeper perspective, because these things have been happening in many countries, and if not all countries, and they have been happening since the innovation of vehicles. Since vehicles started to get faster, these things have started to happen. These particular kinds of cases. So first thing is that we must. I pray sincerely that the family can find the solace, the comfort in this time of grief, and we pray for the soul of the deceased. So animals being on the road, yes, it is not first time. Of course, as I said, it has been happening for the longest while. But why are we not learning from our lessons? We are not learning from our lessons because everybody wants to take the same path in the same direction. That's the problem. And what's the direction? It's a direction of a polished, burdensome, sensory-centered lifestyle. In other words, the happiness is on a sensory level. So if the happiness is on a sensory level, then people will find themselves in a very busy lifestyle, trying to gratify the senses. On the other hand, there is a dimension of satisfaction that comes from deep within. And that satisfaction comes through a family that is bonded through agriculture, or you can say through gardening. So why did I say that? Why did I say such a thing as gardening? People, that is not too important. How can we find happiness through agriculture? Well, as I said many times in the past, happiness is there as a reward for meaningful survival. The kind of happiness that people are finding these days is pleasure-related happiness. And that is just temporary. It's sensual. And it's a burdensome lifestyle. Actually, I don't want to go too much into the general perspective, but I'm trying to say from that perspective that we do not know where to find our happiness at the moment, and we do not find happiness where it should be. As I said, a family that survives on meaningful agriculture Agriculture satisfies the most important component, right? Agriculture satisfies the most important component of survival, and that is food. So if the family take care of the food, then the most meaningful happiness will be there, not sensual happiness. So the family uh, cultivates food, harvests food, cook food, and eat together in a very loving way. And in that way, the family is bonded. Not through cell phones, not looking at TV, not going and take out fast food, right? So those kind of activities entertain a set of nonsense talking and talking names, and not really trying to focus on independent survival. Rather, it just speaks about the conversation is about how to enjoy this life, enjoy the senses, how to ultimately leading to a burdensome lifestyle. Okay, so that is the problem. That is the solution right there. But of course, relating to this problem, when you live as a family, once you find, let me just make an adjustment here. Whatever land you have, you're contented with it. So the animals need a land. They have a family to live, to be for. There is father, like the bull is playing the role of father, the cow is playing the role of mother, and there is brothers and sisters. That is called a family. So we must be significant in this world. We must see animals as being part of a family and do not consume them. That's number one. So the more humane we are, the more we will be able to see that animals are part of a family, and we should have a place set aside for them. So a happy family through agriculture has their own land, and they bring that land to full use. Okay. On the other hand, families in this age and time, going with the flow, their happiness is on a sensory level. So the more land they see, the more land they want, and the animals have nowhere to go. So there we go. We must find happiness in the first place through families and agriculture. Families that are based on agriculture. So the animals will be off the road, and there will be no accidents relating to animals. So as people, we need to ask ourselves these basic questions as how can we go ahead in getting the animals off the road, and I give the ultimate solution right there. I give the ultimate solution. But of course, people are so conditioned that will say, "Hey, how do I enjoy life? How does a family that lives meaningfully enjoy life?" Well, that's the problem. All right, our leaders, because they're from the people would have voted for them. Politicians, we have voted for them. They have the same mentality, just like the people. So they're serving the people. So we cannot blame the politicians. We as people, our minds are political. Political means we cannot set no example for even our loved ones. So the persons we put in place to help us, they will not be able to set example either. So change comes from within. Change comes from within the country, through the members of the society, to practice a family lifestyle, a lifestyle that is centered around gardening. So there's extended families. The houses are full. The houses are used as it is, and the land is used to the maximum, to its fullest potential. There's no you taking lands that you cannot manage. No. And if the house is full, the son can take a land and he make use of the land. And eventually there is extended family, and there's so much of land for the animals. So this is a particular perspective. I don't want to pass 10 minutes, but it's really, we have to get over these issues by focusing on the main things. Okay, so later on I will talk some more important perspective on these matters. Thank you so much.